in the old school bucket. License plate say Kentucky. It's your boy Louis Keys. I'ma come through. Check it.
Terence Crawford would have a better shot of beating Tim Tszyu than Errol Spence Jr. at 154. Here's why. What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Cardinal Red Sports. Let's talk about it. Alright, y'all. So, a lot of rumors still floating around that Terence Bud Crawford will be taking on Tim Tszyu in his next fight and not Errol the Truth Spence Jr. at 154 pounds. I just want to break down which one of those guys would Bud actually have the better shot of beating at 154 for anybody left.
So, undefeated Australian superstar Tim Tszyu, the son of a legend, Kostya Tszyu. Tim Tszyu is 29 years of age. He just aggressively called out after hearing Terence Bud Crawford. His name has been in the headlines because Terence Crawford was initially looking to fight Jermell Charlo. Tim Tszyu was elevated. Terence Crawford recently went back and forth with Errol, and so Terence Crawford stated, "You know something, I've heard it all from Errol Spence now, and I'm glad it's over. I wish you well moving forward, bro."
Alright, y'all. So, Errol Spence, Tim Tszyu, Terence Crawford. Who would have the better shot of taking down Bud at 154?
I don't know. Was he being all shady and secretive? Yeah.
Is Terence Crawford better off fighting Tim Tszyu than a bulked up Errol Spence Jr. at 154? Well, basically, I think that Terence Crawford actually would have a pretty decent showing against both guys. But I do feel like the size of Tim Tszyu would give Terence Crawford some trouble. Now, I've never really seen Tim Tszyu fight a guy of the caliber of Terence Crawford, so I don't know exactly how he would deal with the skill sets of Crawford.
This is serious. Grandma, I am serious.
But I do know that that size is definitely not something that you can really mimic in sparring. So I do feel like that the size of Tim Tszyu would give Terence Crawford some real issues. And the thing about it is, we all thought that the size of Errol Spence Jr. would give Terence Crawford some real issues because it would have been the first time that Terence Crawford would have gotten into the ring with a big, strong welterweight and one that could balloon up in weight. And we just didn't get to see that in the first fight. So if he fought Tim Tszyu, it would actually be the first time we see Terence Crawford versus a big, stout, strong fighter who actually has skill sets and who's not injured.
Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
So help me, my God.
So I think that it would be kind of like a first if he fought Tim Tszyu. It would be a lot of firsts in that fight. How does Terence Crawford deal with real size? How does he deal with size and a little bit of speed? How does he deal with the size, the speed, and the power of Tim Tszyu? And can he escape, all of that and come out with a victory? But when it comes to Errol Spence Jr. at 154, I think it's like an unknown. We don't know what version of Spence is coming back. We don't know if it's a better version, if it's a worse version. The one fight that he did have at 154, I believe he dominated that fight. So we know he's good at 154 because he's fought there before. Terence Crawford hasn't fought at 154 before. So, I think that it's all a guessing game. But what we do know about Errol Spence, he dominated everybody in 147.
It wants to get out, wants to walk around. It wants some walking around money, and it wants to buy some shoes, and it wants to walk up with the people and say, "Hey, Gator don't play no shit."
He's a very big welterweight. He probably belongs at super welterweight or maybe even a little bit higher than that. And I think Errol Spence, like many other fighters, just got caught at the right time. Bud Crawford caught him at the right time, whether he purposely set him up for that or whether, all the ducks just came into a row for Errol Spence to take a loss at that moment. The rib injury, the altitude sickness, the eye problems, the car crash. It all kind of culminated on fight night when it came down to that Terence Crawford fight. So I don't really blame Errol Spence for taking that first loss.
I don't fucking like you.
I just feel like everything was in line for Terence Crawford to win that night. And if we do even get half of what we expected Errol Spence to be in the rematch, then we could get a heck of a fight. If we only get half of what we expected, because we expected some real fireworks. We just didn't get any from the Errol Spence side. So I think if we get a 6-round fight, a 7-round fight, and it ends in a knockout, that's better than what we endured in the first fight because it was so lopsided and so one-sided. I know Terence Crawford fans won't say that. They'll say it turned out exactly how it was supposed to. But I think if you look at it from an all-around standpoint, I think most boxing fans just wanted to see a good fight. I don't think they really cared who won or lost.
Now, I'm going to tell you this in front. See that snap, crackle, and pop you'll be hearing won't be no cereal. It'll be your arm.
But it is what it is. So which one of those guys at the end of the day would have the better shot at beating Terence Crawford at 154? Obviously, most people are going to say Tim Tszyu. Still, undefeated, big guy. Both of those guys, Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, would be moving into his division, so he's already acclimated there. And younger guys, so I think a lot of people would lean toward Tim Tszyu. But I would say that the experience of Errol Spence, the fact we don't know what version of Spence is going to come back to the ring.
Oh, shit.
I think all of that's going to play a role when he actually does get the rematch with Terence Crawford. Now, the thing about it is it going to be a Tim Tszyu fight before, or if he beats Errol Spence, would a Tim Tszyu fight be after the rematch?
A lot of times you have the true appreciation for something when you're not trying to do it. You just like it. So that's the relationship that I had with music. And it was the relationship that I had with comedy. It didn't matter what the comedy person looked like or how they were built or where they were from. If they were funny, I was going to be able to tell. So I understood that Don Knotts was out there working his ass off as Barney Fife.
Y'all let me know what y'all think about all that down in the comment section below. That like button for me. Share, subscribe. Holler at me on all social media platforms. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. But you're more than likely to get a response on the tubes or holler at me over there. If you want to collab or feature a product or your channel on my channel, feel free to hit my Gmail because it is a flock of cards at gmail.com. And we are man here.